is senior Jalen Webster. Again, Colonel's in their home royal blues tonight. Central Holmes in their road white tops with blue letters trimmed in red, gray pants, royal blue helmet. A crowd continues to build here on a muggy night in the Delta.
Watch, I want to pass along a big Colonel hello to Alice Weems, listening to us tonight down at Inverness. She called me this afternoon in my office. She's a longtime employee of ours, great employee. And Alice is a loyal Colonel listener, and especially loves those Inverness players down there. Beckham and all the Inverness players that have come through Indianola through all these years. Been some great football players from down that way.
Also want to say hello to Bobby Williamson, who's listening tonight. Gotten up on the air the last few years, and we certainly appreciate all of his efforts. As Cardinals have won the toss, they will defer their option to the second half. Well, you mentioned earlier you want to see the defense improve. You're going to get a chance to pull that right side, or Central Holmes will be receiving to start things off tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have to shuffle in some different players. I think last week, when Ms. Foney went down, Hayes Fleming came in and took over his spot, number 21. Did a pretty good job. Hayes going to have to learn on the fly. He kind of came in as a substitute in some earlier games, but now he's going to be called upon every play. So need to see 21 have a big game tonight. Also need to see the other linebackers. Your laser linebacker, Taylor Moore, needs to have a big game tonight. One is in this defense, like I said all year long, there's 3 middle linebackers and your 2 outside guys. And they're going to have to really be on their game tonight. I want to see Brian Rice. He needs to come up and wrap up, make some good tackles. Ashton Powell. Year all. So Wade Lang, the junior, will see it up tonight for the girls.
Lang will be kicking right to left as you look at your radio. Lawrence Wiley will go back deep to return for the Trojans. We also want to welcome all of our listeners in the Lexington area. Melanie Killebrew out there listening tonight, so we certainly appreciate everyone tuning in here on Super Talk for the Delta as we are ready to get underway. Wade Lang set to kick it away from the 40, kicking right to left, ball on the left hash, and we are underway. It's an indoor rim kick. Wiley actually lets it hit at the 10, going to be taken by Sean Harrell, and Harrell works up near the 25-yard line of Central Holmes before he's taken out of bounds, tackled there by John Clayton Chisholm, and the Trojans will start 1st and 10 from there on 25.
I don't know if you noticed it or not that time watching, but Wade Lang, when he did his kickoff that time, he was a little further back. He's been shorter up, almost like the distance you would on an extra point, and he was a little further back and had a nice kick that traveled all the way to just inside the 10-yard line. The return for Central Holmes brings it out to the 15. Is that where they're spotted? Yeah, 15-yard line. So the Colonel defense ready to go.
Yeah, it's 25. Got it.
25. I'm sorry.
The first and Trojans quarterback is junior Noah Steen. Wears number 2. He'll open in the shotgun. Send trip receivers to the left. Single receiver to the near side is Jay Steen. They'll target him a lot tonight. Wiley comes in motion left to right. Steen takes a snap and flags are down. Officials blow this one dead.
They're going to get them for delay of the game. I didn't notice to see if our play clocks were working or not tonight, but the back judge made that called delay of the game, so they'll move them back 5 yards. Not a good start for the Trojans of Central Holmes.
5-yard penalty will make it 1st and 15 from the Trojan 20. Just underway here from Legion Field. 3 receivers left again for Steen. Wiley shifts in motion into the backfield. Steen calls his own number, runs it straight ahead, hit at the line of scrimmage, and able to fall forward for a couple, but not much happening there. Powell and Obasanjo leading the charge.
Reeves Palacini was probably one of the main reasons that was not much of a game. He turned that play inside and allowed those linebackers to scrape. Ashton Powell came in there and got the tackle. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 14.
Marshall Reed going to check in defensively for Powell. Certainly hope he's okay. Appears to be. 2nd and 13 from the 22. Steen swings it out in the left flat, caught there by Wiley. Met by Brandon Brown and taken down as a couple Colonels come in to help out. Hayes Fleming in there as well. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Will be 3rd and 13 from the Trojan 22.
Well, they kind of hit the back out of the backfield on the left side, and Brandon Brown did a good job of shaking his blocker and came up and made that tackle. Again, no gain on the play. So be a big third down stop here, try to force a punt early, let this Colonel offense get rolling.
Third and long, ball at the Central Holmes 22. 10:38 to go, first quarter, no score. Three receivers come to the right for Steen. Dancing around in the pocket, now going to tuck it and run straight ahead. Tripped up, that's the 25, Obasanjo with the stop. It'll be 4th and 10, and the Trojans will have to punt.
And Obasanjo came from his nose guard position. Quarterback was rushed out of the pocket, had nothing downfield, so he was forced to run it. Thought he might have a little crease there for a second, but Obasanjo got that last reach, tipped that foot, tackled him.
Barrett Fondren will go back to punt for the Trojans. Stands at his own 15. Leland Selby back to return for the Colonels. Stands at his own 42. Fondren, a spiral kick. Selby, over-the-shoulder catch at the 40. Makes a man miss at the 45. Looks to get to the far side of the field in Trojan territory. Has some blocks set up. 40, 35, 30. A flag is down. And Selby taken out of bounds at the Trojans 26. But we'll check the penalty marker.
Boy, Selby, what a great job of reversing field. He was almost to the out-of-bound line over here. Totally reversed field, went the other way. Had a nice wall set up. I think they're going to get Grant Coleman for a block in the back. He was the closest one over there when the flags came out. But no rushing touchdown. The Colonels with great field position even after the penalty. They've got it at the Trojan 37. Farrell will turn, toss near side to Selby. He's got running room. Gets to the 30, to the 25. Cuts in there, taken down at the 21. As Trojans giving chase, Ellis Harris comes up with the tackle. That'll be good enough for a Greenville Motorsports first down. Well, Selby had a lot of running room that time. He did a little head fake on the only man that really had a shot at him for a limited gain, and he shook him out really easy. He got the first down, boot the chains. 16-yard pickup, 1st and 10, Colonels. Selby in motion right side, takes the handoff, and runs into Jace Dean at the 20. Be a gain of 1 on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 9. Yeah, just kind of, he cut it inside. Maybe should have tried to keep that one outside. Cardinals are going fast-paced right now. I formation in the backfield. Handoff goes to the tailback, Connor Roncalli. Works to the 17, to the 16, keeps his feet moving, gets to the 15, 5-yard pickup. Will bring up 3rd and 4. Roncalli did a good job of carrying 2 or 3 guys with him. Watson, he was hit pretty much at the line of scrimmage, and he got a lot of second effort yards there. 8:50 to go, first quarter, no score. Colonel's on the move, 3rd and 4 from the Trojan 15. Handoff goes to Powell, running straight ahead, now bounces to the outside, gets by a man at the 10, hurdles a man at the 5. Does he get in the end zone? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Colonels. Ashton Powell with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season takes it in from 15 yards out, and the Colonels go on top 6-0 with 8:36 to play in the first quarter. Well, Powell did a good job there getting that ball outside, and once he got those shoulders squared up and turned upfield, Watson, I was kind of feeling bad for those little DBs coming up on him, but he never lowered the boom on him. He kind of juked and jived and got in there and tiptoed in the corner of the end zone. The Colonels with the 6-0 lead. Wade Lang will come in for the extra point. 4 plays, 37 yards on the scoring drive. Colonels on top 6-0. 8:36 to go, first quarter. Lang on for the extra point. 4 of 6 on the year. Make it 5 of 7. Colonels on top 7-0 over Central Holmes here early in the first. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Welcome to Robertson Ford. How can I help you? I'm looking for some floors for my house. I can help you. What kind of floor are you looking for? I am looking for Mannington hardwood floors for my bathroom, my laundry room, and my kitchen. Do you have your sizes, or do we need to measure? I have my sizes, but I still need you to come measure.
Whatever your flooring needs, Robertson Floor Service Indianola has got you covered. 662-887-4477.
We give free estimates and free Cokes.
Are you looking for another choice for your prescription needs? Try any of your local Good Neighbor pharmacies and experience the difference your friends and neighbors are already enjoying. Your local Good Neighbor pharmacies serving the Delta with 5 convenient locations. City Drugstore, Hollandale, Cleveland Medical Arts, Cleveland, GMP Pharmacy, Belzona, Yazoo Drug Company, Yazoo City, Magic Mart Pharmacy, Indianola. Your Good Neighbor pharmacy where you get same copay and better service. Experience the Good Neighbor difference. Bring your prescriptions in today. Your local Good Neighbor pharmacies serving the Delta with 5 convenient locations.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Selden Van Cleve with you from Legion Field, where the Colonels have the early 7-0 lead over Central Holmes. 8:36 to go in the first quarter. Ashton Powell, a 15-yard touchdown run. Wade Lang with the extra point. And Big Blue out in front early. Lang set to kick it away as the Trojans send Wiley deep to return once again. Good kick out of Lang. Takes Wiley to the 7. Hauls it in there. Returns it to the 15-20. Gets to the 25. Tries to make a cut. And going to be wrapped up around the ankles and taken down. Hayes Fleming the first to get there. Several Colonels came in to help out. Trojans will have it 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Marshall Reed was in there also, number 64. Like you said, Hayes Fleming, what a good job by Wade Lang. I'm telling you, the extra point was beautiful. That's the best one I've seen him kick all year. The timing is getting better between the snapper and the holder, and his timing in going and kicking that football. And then again, another impressive kickoff by Lang. He gets you outside the 10 again.
John Clay Hong in at the left cornerback position. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 27. Quarterback Sneed works out of the gun. He's been there all night. Calls his own number around the left side, wrapped up by Brewer Wright, able to escape and going to pick up a few before he's finally taken out of bounds by Brandon Brown. Well, you mentioned earlier you need Wright to have a good night. He had him there but couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, again, he was in there. He did a good job of shooting that gap and disrupting everything. He got a hand on him, but he's got to wrap up right there. You get a loss or no gain on the play, instead they get a gain of 4. Got to see him wrap up here. Want to get wrap up and make those tackles. Get your name in that tackle book.
2nd and 6 for the Trojans from their own 31. Steen will work from the gun, has Jordan Engel in the backfield. 3 receivers right side. Sneed throws, caught at the 35, and working up to the 41-yard line is Artino Brown, or I beg your pardon, it's Florence Wiley on the reception. That'll move the chains for the Trojans.
A nice little play by Central Holmes. They just got the ball out in the flats. The receiver just turned and went up there a little bit. A couple of Colonels late getting there. Central Holmes moves the chains. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 41.
Laying in at defensive end, also Warren Toller down in the trenches for the Trojans, or for the Colonels. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 41. Ball on the near hash. Steen works from the gun, hands off to Wiley. Straight ahead, he's hit in the backfield. Ball comes loose. Colonels pounce on it, I believe they've recovered. Well, Wiley was dancing around looking for running room. Somebody came in, got the strip, and the Colonels come up with the football. Warren Toller on the recovery, and Big Blue will take over 1st and 10 once again in Trojan territory.
I think, Watson, it was Obasanjo that got his hand in there and stripped that ball loose. Not 100% sure, but he was around that football. And then, gosh, several Colonels you mentioned were in there recovering it. That Big Blue offensive machine, the 39 ready to roll here.
Ball on the near hash for Farrell and company. 39 yards to go. Farrell looking to throw. Dumps it off right side, caught by Jackson. Has a Greenville Motorsports first down to the 27-yard line of Central Holmes. 12-yard pitch and catch. That'll move the chains.
Well, John Reese Jackson ran about a 10-yard out pattern right there, Watson, and he did a good job breaking off his receiver. Farrell delivered it right on time there to him. Pretty pass and run, and Colonels move the chains.
Give them 13 to the 26. 1st and 10 Colonels, who lead at 7-0 over Central Holmes with 6:57 to go in the first quarter. Farrell working out of the gun, sprints to his left. Now sets up, throws left side in and out of the hands, or actually through the hands of John Clayton Chisholm. Let him a little bit too much. Tough catch. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Farrell really didn't have his feet set. He was towing to his left. He's got to get the shoulder squared and back turned around. It was a pretty pass. He just let him a little too much. And receiver was wide open there. Who was that? Chisholm? Yeah, just right off his fingertips. So 2nd and 10 now here for the Colonels, leading 7-0 with 6:50 to go in your first quarter.
2nd and 10 from the Trojan 26. Ball on the far hash. Farrell under center, offset eye in the backfield, looking to throw. Fires left side, caught by Coleman at the 20, and tried to get away from the defender, Ellis Harris, but could not do it. Coleman tripped up, able to fall forward to the 16. That's going to be close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot.
He was an eyelash breaking that thing. They lined up Coleman wide out to the left side. Normally he's your tight end. Nice crisp pass that time by Farrell. And they're going to bring the chains out, I believe, for a measurement.
Those are the football right at the sticks on the opposite end of the field from where we're perched in the press box, but it appears he's got enough. We've got a timeout on the field for the measurement and the water break. We'll step aside and take 30 seconds. 6:25 to go first quarter. Colonel's on top of the Trojans, 7-0. We'll take 30 seconds and be back with Colonel football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Born and raised in the Delta, we get it.
We understand your connection to this land because ours is just as strong. It's not only been our home for 7 generations, but the home of those we care about. We value the natural resources of the Delta and the joy they bring to us. Our goal every day is to nurture and protect those as we continue to provide the best services possible to our customers. That's Gresham Petroleum Company, Indianola. Call 887-2160. That's Gresham Petroleum Company.
First down for the Colonels. They got it 1st and 10 from the Trojans 16. And the Colonels look to extend a 7-0 lead with 6:25 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, had a good spot, I think, by the officials there, and Holmes did a good job of stretching it out, too. So 1st and 10, Indianola.
Farrell will go under center with Ron Kiley and Selby in the backfield. 2 receivers near side, Jackson and Chisholm. Handoff to Selby, makes a cut, tries to get to the edge. He's to the 10, to the 5. Can he get to the pylon? Yes. Touchdown, Colonel. Selby turns on the Jets and goes 16 yards to the house. Colonel's on top 13-0 with 6:10 to go in the first quarter.
So the Colonels currently lined up with a power to the left side, look right there, on the short side of the field. You know how Coach Nestor loves to run to that short side of the field. Selby that time hit the middle of the line, passed it up around, and he just outraced his defender to the end zone. Put the Colonels up 13-0. Wade Lang will attempt his second extra point of the night.
The Colonels take advantage of the Trojan fumble. The extra point by Lang is up, and it is good. 14-0. Colonels on top of Central Holmes with 6:10 to play in the first quarter. We'll take 1 minute and be back. You're listening to IA Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
I'm Greg Bills from Bills Body Shop in Rubel, Mississippi, and I want to fix your car. We've been in business for 40 years in the same location. We're a family-owned business and currently have 3 generations still working under the same roof. If you're ever in an accident, we can tow your vehicle, help you with your insurance claim, get you in a rental car, repair your vehicle, and deliver it back to you in usually under a week. We're located at 501 South Oak Street, Highway 49, Rubel, Mississippi. Give us a call today, 662-756-2745. You won't be disappointed.
20 seconds left with Let's Make Money. It's time for our first guest to pick a category of their choice. Alex.
I'll take reliable banking for $600.
Though it's local, this bank is known for having expansive online capabilities.
Community Bank?
Correct.
Reliable banking, $800.
The Small Business Administration ranked this bank #1 in Mississippi for SBA loans.
Community Bank?
Correct again.
Reliable banking, $1,000.
All right, Alex, this is for all the marbles. This bank is truly like no other bank you know.
Community Bank.
We have a winner!
Community Bank, always the right answer.
Welcome back. Colonels on top of Central Holmes, 14-0. 6:10 to go in the first quarter as Lang kicks it away. Wiley back to return, hauls it in at the 17, looks for return room up the Colonel sideline. Hit by Marshall Reed, taken down at the Trojan 34, and that's where the Trojans will set up 1st and 10.
They're going back to the extra point again, watching another excellent kick by Wade Lang. I know I sound like a broken record, but, boy, he's really gotten better at his extra points and kickoffs. This kickoff didn't get past the 10, so not a pretty good return by Central Holmes there. They set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 34.
Jeff Rainey will check in at nose guard. Obasanjo will get a breather. Camp Judson in the game at free safety. Trojans went 3 and out on their first drive. 2 plays and a fumble on their second drive. We'll see what they can get going here. Steen works from the gun. Calls his own number. Actually, that was Jay Steen, I believe, taking the direct snap. And works up to the 38, 4-yard gain. Will bring up 2nd and 6.
Grant Coleman and Brayden Kimball. Coleman was the first one in there, giving the tackle and assist by Kimball.
Toller will check back in.
Brewer Wright comes out now, and It looks like they're going to a four-man.
Yeah, Colonels go to a four-man front. Haven't seen that in a long time. Steen from the gun sends Wiley in motion right to left. Has back stacking an eye to his left. He'll get behind them, try to run it. Steen works near the 40. Taken out of bounds, a sea of blue shirts across the way, bringing down Steen. Braden Kimball leading the charge. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds.
Well, Kimball in your tackle on that right side, I believe it was Warren Toller, did a good job of stretching that play, forcing it to the sideline, waiting for that safety and quarterback support come up. And Brandon Brown came up, made the tackle there.
They'll say no gain on the play. 3rd and 6 for Central Holmes. Ball at the Trojan 38. 4:40 to go in the first quarter. Colonels on top, 14-0. Ashton Powell, Leland Selby with a touchdown run apiece here in the first quarter. 4 wide for Steen. Takes a snap, looking to throw. Lost it down the right side, looking for Dean. Where's the push-off? Dean had his hands all over John Clay Holmes. There's no flag, but the pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 6.
Boy, Grant Colvin was coming in like a kamikaze on the quarterback. He just threw it up in the air. Connor Moore had good coverage, or was that Hall, John Clay Hall on the coverage there. If Hall would have turned around, he could have got him a nice interception, but he stayed covered up with his receiver. Ball falls incomplete, forces a punt for Central Holmes.
Fondren back to kick. He'll stand at his own 25. Selby back to return for the Colonels. The high spiral kick will go out of bounds. That one hits on the track over around the 35, 40-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. The official comes up across the 40, the 45. Well, I was way off. They're going to put it, looks like, at the Colonel 48. Great field position, but the worst start for the Colonels thus far. They've started their first 2 drives in Trojan territory. This one will start at their own 48.
Well, if the last 2 drives are any indication of how things are going to go tonight, the Colonels have had their way so far offensively. Coach Nestor has got his playbook at his disposal. Everything he's done so far has worked.
Farrell will work out of the gun on 1st and 10 from the Colonel 48. Ball on the far hash. Trip receivers near side. Farrell takes the snap. Swings it out in the left flat. Caught by Selby. Has some blockers in Trojan territory to the 35-30. Trying to tiptoe down the sideline. He's going to go out at the Central Holmes 31. There is a late flag that comes in. And we'll have to check with the officials.
A nice job by Chisholm and John Reese Jackson. There were 2 receivers out this way, blocking downfield. That's what set it up for Selby to catch that ball out in the flats and turn it upfield. They're going to call a block in the back on the Colonels. I don't know if that was a lineman that came downfield after the play developed. It certainly wasn't Chisholm or Jackson, because they had excellent blocks on their men.
Yeah, the flag was thrown well behind Selby, who was 10, 12 yards downfield at the time. So this will go against the Colonels. They will step it back to the Central Holmes 46 is where they'll put it down. It'll be 1st and 4 for the Colonels. So 1st and 4, Farrell looking to throw, pump fake, now rolls to his right. Dean giving chase, Farrell in trouble, ball comes loose, and the Trojans pick it up. Try the return down the Trojan sideline. They step out of bounds. That was Webster on the recovery. So the Colonels able to take advantage of a Trojan turnover earlier. Now they give it back, and Central Holmes will be set up with their best field position of the night. 1st and 10 at the Colonel 45 with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Colonels on top, 14-0.
Well, Farrell right there, Watson, he just have to just make his decision, just throw that ball away. His first look at his receiver wasn't open. He was going to try to wait and let him get open on a second cut downfield, and the defenders came in on Farrell. He could have just thrown that ball out of bounds and then gone to just to 2nd or 3rd down, but fumble goes to Central Holmes.
Dean will go back, take the direct snap. He's a big receiver for the Trojans. They've got him in there taking snaps at quarterback, and he calls his own number, works for 1 to the 44. Not much happening there. Fleming comes up to make the stop. 2nd and 9 for the Trojans.
Yeah, nice pursuit that time by the Colonel defense. They recognized the run pretty quick there. Those linebackers were filling those gaps Only a 1-yard gain on the play. Nice job there by the defense.
Inside 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Colonel's leading Central Holmes 14-0. 2nd and 9 Trojans from the Colonel 44. Ball on the far hash. Steen takes a snap, swings it out right flat, caught by Wiley. Taken down by John Clay Hong as he breaches the 40-yard line. Connor Moore in there as well. We'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, John Clay Hong was on the short end of the size right there. He just kind of grabbed the back of him and jumped on his back, waited for help. But nice job. Hong came up quick. Only gain of about 3 on the play. So it brings up 3rd and 6 or 5. The scoreboard says 5.
It's a long 5, about 5.5. 3rd down. We'll see if the Colonels can get off the field. Steen will work from the gun with Wiley in the backfield. A pistol set. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They toss it back to Wiley. Gets to the 39, taken down. Hayes Fleming once again coming up to make the stop. The sophomore, he's made some plays here and there throughout the first couple of weeks, but he's had a big first quarter here in his first start.
And he's going to have to. You know, he's going to step up and fill that position of Walker's opponent. He's been our leading tackler, our leader on defense all year. Fleming's done a good job coming up so far here tonight.
Central Holmes calls a timeout. We'll take one as well. 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Colonel's on top 14-0. We'll take 30 seconds and be back with Colonel football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Hi folks, Randy Smith with Sunflower Lumber and Home Center here to tell you about our company. Since the 1940s, Sunflower Lumber has been in the same location with the same mission we have today. That's customer service and satisfaction to the fullest. Our dedicated, knowledgeable staff is here to work for you, whether adding on to the hunting camp, updating your kitchen or bath, spring cleaning around your property, or replacing your roof. We're your first stop for all your project needs. Stop by today at 204 Highway 82 in Indianola or give us a call at 662-887-1511 and see what shopping local can do for you. That's Sunflower Lumber and Home Center. And go Colonels.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Selden Van Cleve with you from Legion Field in Indianola, where the Colonels lead 14-0 over the Central Holmes Trojans. 1:45 to go in the first quarter. You assume 4-down territory here for the Trojans as they've got 4th and about 4 from the Colonel 41.
Yeah, they don't want to give the football.
39, I beg your pardon.
They don't want to give the ball back to the Colonels. You would think they're going to go for it here. As you mentioned, the ball is at the 39, and I don't see them coming out in punt formation.
Does appear they're going to go. Steen will work from the gun. He'll have Engel in the backfield. 3 receivers come near side. Single receiver to the left. Steen looking to throw. Lost it down the left side, looking for Dean. Throws it up, and he just goes up and makes a grab. Or does it fall incomplete? No, it's incomplete. A flag is down.
Yeah, they're going to get us for pass interference there. It was almost a catch. That's a good tall receiver they have over there, and he went up. It was a fight for the football, but I think they're going to get it was Brandon Brown on coverage there.
That's a tough matchup for any of the Colonel secondary, as Dean has a height advantage over anybody the Colonels have out there.
Yeah, they don't have the height on their roster, but he's got to be a good 6'1", 6'2".
Pass interference will be the call against the Colonels. That'll result in a Trojan first down. They'll put it at the IA-24. The Trojans with their best opportunity thus far. 1:38 to go in the first. Colonels on top, 14-0. Trojans looking to get on the board. Steen will have Wiley and Engel in the backfield. Single receiver to either side. He'll hand off to Engel, dances his way for 1, maybe 2. Connor Roncalli coming up to make the stop. They'll put it at the Colonel 22, call it 2nd and 8.
And Hayes Fleming got an arm in there on him as well, Watson. So combined tackle over there, gain of 1.5, 2 yards on the play. Be a good challenge here for this Colonel defense. They're in Colonel territory here. Ball's rested at the 22. Need the defense to step up and get a stop here.
We approach the 1-minute mark in the first quarter. Steen takes a snap, hands off to Engel again, straight ahead. Gets through a couple Colonel defenders and finally taken down near the 15 as Reeves Policini in amongst the Colonels on the stop.
Yeah, we got a couple of guys coming up just trying to arm tackle there, just reaching and grabbing. We got to get in there and put a shoulder on them. Nice gain by Central Holmes. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1 Ball is resting on the 15-yard line. Clock is at 40 seconds and running here in the first quarter.
3rd and short for the Trojans. Ball at the IA-15. Steen from the gun with Wiley in the backfield. Calls his own number, dancing around, and he's not going to have it, I don't believe. Maybe second effort. Able to fall forward. Official on the near side has him marked just shy of the 14, it appears, which is where they needed to get to pick up the first down. It'll depend on the spot again.
Yeah, this may be another measurement situation. They're eyeballing it right now. It's definitely 4-down territory.
They're going to say 4th down. That will bring the first quarter to a close. It'll be 4th and inches for the Trojans when we come back in a minute as we get ready to start the second quarter. Colonel's on top of Central Holmes 14-0. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back. You're listening to IA Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Hey, this is Chris McLean with Indianola Electric. We would like to thank our loyal customers for your continued support for the past 36 years. We are in our 2nd generation operating under the same family for over 3.5 decades. As an electrical contractor, we are here for all of your electrical needs, from service and repair to customized automation and controls. We also have a complete motor shop for new or rebuilt electric motors and generators. Give us a call today at Indianola Electric for all of your electrical needs at 662-887-3292.
Proud supporters of Colonel Football, the Tackett family, owners of Heartland Catfish Company, farm 7,200 surface water acres of catfish and 15,000 acres of grain land. That makes us the largest single grower of farm-raised catfish in the U.S. Heartland is committed to supplying our customers with the highest quality farm-raised catfish products. Be sure and eat catfish raised in the Mississippi Delta by looking for the Heartland seal, smooth, clean fillet cuts that meet the highest standards, just like Indianola Academy and Colonel Football. Heartland Catfish, a proud sponsor of Colonel Football.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Sheldon Van Cleve with you from Legion Field as we start the second quarter. The IA Colonels on top of the Central Holmes Trojans 14-0. Trojans are facing 4th and inches from the Colonel 14.5.
Watson, I want to pass along another big Colonel hello to a text group of mine, but they're all former Colonel players. We call ourselves Team Meeting 87. It's Dean Belk, Roger Simpson, Michael McGuire, Jim Abbott, Willie Earl Clark. We stay in touch that way. We kind of live all over the country, and good way for us to keep in touch.
Absolutely.
A couple of them are tuning in, listening to the Colonels tonight.
Dean will be in to take the direct snap at quarterback, and he's hit in the backfield and drops. The Colonels swarm in on Chase Dean and bring him down for a loss. A turnover on downs will give it back to the Colonels.
Nice stop there is what we needed. The Colonel defense rose to the occasion. It was 4th and less than a yard, and they came in with some pressure, blew up that play in the backfield, and the Colonel defense held, and the offense will now have a nice long field to go. Ball is at about the 16, 17-yard line.
Colonels take over 1st and 10 at their own 17 after getting the turnover on downs to keep the goose egg on the board for the Trojans. 14-0. Colonels lead, 11:53 to play, second quarter. Farrell tosses left side to Selby on 1st and 10, makes a couple of cuts. He's got a big run across the 30, 35, up near the 37, maybe 38 before he's taken off his feet. Another Greenville Motorsports first down, giving 21 on the carry.
Hamp Judson with a nice block that time that sprung that. And Selby just did a good job of picking and choosing, finding his hole. He's a really shifty runner once he gets out in the open to cut that ball in and out.
Officials blow it dead on 1st and 10 from the Colonel 38.
They're going to get this offensive line, Colonel offensive line, a little movement on the right side there, a little quick off the snap. Eager to get that block.
5-yard penalty will back the Colonels up to the 33. Be 1st and 15. Big game in the 3A division, just a few miles west of here. Greenville Christian hosting St. Joe tonight. A lot's been made about that one. Both schools have gotten in a few transfers with some of these school districts shutting down football. Is on 1st and 15. Selby gets it all back and more in Trojan territory. 35-30 and finally taken down at the Central Holmes 27-yard line as Leland Selby. Wow, what a run.
Another one of those runs. You know, he has his opportunity to go in or out. He was following along behind his big lineman, Jeff Rainey, right there. Rainey downfield doing a good job getting blocks 10 and 15 yards downfield. Big gain for the Colonels, 1st and 10. Ball is at the 27.
35-yard run for Selby. Greenville Motorsports first down, 1st and 10 from the Trojan 27. Handoff, Connor Moore straight ahead. He's got a big burst of speed inside the 15. Taken down at the 12-yard line. 15-yard run for Moore. That was his first rush of the season.
Nice hard run by Connor Moore. Nothing fancy, just straight up the middle. He put those shoulders down, covering up that football good, and got another first down gain for the Colonels.
Ron Colley and Moore in and I in the backfield behind Farrell on 1st and 10 from the 12. It goes to Moore again, cuts outside at the 5, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Colonels. First touchdown of the season for Connor Moore. On the offensive side, I should say, he had a pick 6 earlier in the year. But Connor Moore with the 12-yard run puts the Colonels on top 20-0 with 11 minutes to play in the second quarter.
He just did a good job following behind those two linemen on the left side and his lead blocker, Ron Colley. And Moore had nothing but green grass to the outside. Got it in the end zone for the Colonel touchdown to stretch it out to 20-0. Wade Lang to tip the extra point.
4 plays, 83 yards on the drive. And this extra point is going to be blocked. I don't know that the snap was ever handled cleanly. But the score will remain 20-0. Colonel's in front of Central Holmes with 11 minutes to go in the first half. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
An accident in your vehicle is always unpleasant, but getting it repaired doesn't have to be. Scott Lofton and the staff at Indianola Collision will help you through the process. From the insurance company to the actual repairs, we use the best parts. It will make your truck and car look just like new. Our 24-hour record service, a rental car available if you need it, and a skilled, friendly staff make Indianola Collision the #1 destination for body work on your vehicle. We hope you don't need us soon, but we're here when you do. Indianola Collision, Highway 82 East in Indianola. Call us at 887-2000. Some product Low Smoker Hitters. Low Smoker Hitters is delicious, authentic Mexican food that makes your mouth water. Satisfied customers from all over the Mississippi Delta dine with Juan and his staff every chance they get, and you will too. Los Smokeheads also has a party room that you can reserve for birthday parties, anniversaries, and just a good time. You won't feel crowded, and the atmosphere is that perfect setting for authentic Mexican food. That's Los Smokeheads Mexican Restaurant, Highway 82 in Indianola.
Welcome back. Colonels extend the lead to 20-0 over Central Holmes with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Connor Moore with his first rushing touchdown of the season from 12 yards out. And Lang set to kick it away as Wiley will go back deep to return for the Trojans. A shorter kick this time out of Lang, going to hit at the 22, be picked up there by Dean. Dean returns it straight ahead, gets across the 35, up near the 37, maybe the 38 before he's taken down. And the Trojans will start there 1st and 10. They'll put it at the Central Holmes 39.
Get back to the extra point. Watch, it was a high snap. It really never got down, and the pursuit was coming in, so just unfortunate Carlos couldn't get that one off there. Leading 20-0, 10:50 to go.
And this is a very thin roster for Central Holmes, only 19 players on the roster. We mentioned the struggle they've had scoring points early on this season. They come in 0-3. When you're only working with 19 playing 3A football, that's tough. As Steen takes it around the right side, works for a first down, gets into Colonel territory, drops just inside the 50. That'll move the chains for Central Holmes.
You know, I only see 6 available players on the sideline over there, so they don't even have 19 dressed out tonight. So that's a tall task. A nice run there, though. Colonel defense can't relax. Looks like they relaxed a little bit right there. Nice first down game for Central Holmes.
1st and 10 from the Colonel 49. 10:28 to go, second quarter. Colonel's on top, 20-0. Steen takes a snap. Keeps it for himself and runs into Braden Kimball. Obasanjo comes in to help out as well. Steen should have given that one off to Wiley, but he kept it for himself. He's going to lose 2. Back to the Trojan 49, second and 12.
He faked the give to his back. That probably had a little running room to the outside, but he kept it. And like you said, Kimball and Obasanjo came in and just collapsed him and lost the 2 on the play. So nice negative play there with the Colonel defense needed.
2nd and 12, Trojans from their own 49. Engel and Wiley will be in the backfield with Steen. Now Wiley will come split out wide left along with Jay Steen. Two receivers right, two to the left. Steen runs it straight ahead, wrapped up initially by Kimball again. No gain on the play, maybe a half a yard.
Yeah, Kimball got his hands on him first. Obasanjo kind of helped clean him up a little bit, finish him off. No gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 12. Got some new numbers coming in for the Colonels.
Walker Anthony
coming in.
Also,
Warren Toller.
Toller will check back in at defensive end.
Coach Nestor's going to try to keep these guys fresh, keep them, get a lot of playing time for everybody. You're up 20-0.
4 wide for Steen, 3rd and long. Lost it down the left side, looking for Dean, and nice deflection. Brandon Brown goes up inch for inch with Dean, knocks it away, and that'll bring up 4th and 12.
Well, Brown did a great job of coverage there. Dean was trying to do what he could to get him off of him. He was pushing off, pulling off, trying to sling him around, and Brown waited the last second time, just jumped good, knocked the ball away. Great coverage there by Brandon Brown.
Barrett Fondren will go back to punt for the Trojans. Standing at his own 35, 8:50 to go, second quarter. Colonels on top 20-0, set to get it back. As Selby will go back and stand at his own 15. It's a high, wobbly kick. Selby going to let it bounce near the 22. It'll take a short curl roll. Now rolls back in the Central Holmes favor and will go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. Colonels will have it. It appears at their own 21 as they take over 1st and 10.
That was a very high kick, and Selby alertly got away from it. The Central Holmes defenders got downfield good. He really would have had nothing to return there if he would have caught it, and luckily we got a good bounce where it didn't go deeper into Colonel territory.
So Colonels will have it 1st and 10 at their own 21. Yeah. On top 20-0 with 8:35 to play, second quarter. Farrell will work from the gun, has a back to either side. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Farrell looking to throw. Going deep down the right side, looking for Coleman. And has a defender in his face, and pass interference going to be called on Ellis Harris. Boy, he just really had no option there, and Coleman had no chance, but the Colonel's going to pick up the advantage of pass interference.
Well, Coleman had to put on the brakes. Ball was underthrown a little bit. He was trying to come back to it, and the defender didn't put on the brakes and ran right into him, just to keep him from coming back to the football. So Colonels will have pass interference in Central Holmes here, mark off 15 at 1st and 10.
I'll put it at the Colonel 36. 1st and 10 from the 36. Big Blue on top, 20-0. 8:29 to go, second quarter. If you're just joining us, Ashton Powell, Leland Selby, and Connor Moore each with touchdown runs here in the first half. High snap to Farrell, pulls it down, hands off to Selby, coming near side. Flag is down in the backfield. Selby makes a couple of men miss, makes another miss at the Trojan 40, and Selby's going to take this all the way to the end zone, but I'm afraid it's going to be 4-0 as a flag is down back at the Colonel 36. There's also a Trojan down near midfield.
Yeah, they're going to get Ashton Powell for a block in the back. He had a good block on his man. It was questionable. He had his hands kind of high up on the back of his shoulder, and so. But this will come back. You kind of wish you could have told Selby, hey, you stop running. You knew it was coming back. But nice run nonetheless. They're going to get Powell for blocking the back.
So this will come back. Colonels will still have 1st down. A little bit longer to go this time. They'll mark it back to the Colonel 26, it appears.
Boston got another Colonel listening tonight. Shaw Johnson from up in Clarksdale listening, says a big Colonel hello tonight.
Appreciate all our listeners tuning in here on Super Talk for the Delta. 8:11 to go, second quarter. Colonel's on top, 20-0.
Will Nichols also listening tonight, texting in Colonel support.
1st and 20 from the IA-26. Farrell will work from the gun. 3 receivers left side. Farrell throws looking for Coleman. Threw it behind him as Coleman was a single receiver to the near side. running a short slant. Ball was thrown behind him, 2nd and 20 coming up.
Yeah, just never had a chance to catch that one. It was well behind him. So 2nd and 10 here for the Cardinals. Need to get this offense rolling some more. We've kind of stubbed our toe here a couple of times. Up 20-0 with 8:03 to go here in until half. Love to get another score on the board.
Farrell looking to throw on 2nd and 20, dumps it off. Caught and immediately upended is Connor Roncalli. He'll be stopped at the 30, 4-yard gain. We'll bring up 3rd and 16.
Boy, those tackles like that just always scare you. The running back caught the pass. Roncalli kind of had his back to the defender. He catches it. As soon as he turns around, the defender just diving at his knees, flips him up in the air. So many times you see knees and ankles blowing out that way.
7:35 to go, 2nd quarter. Colonel's on top, 20-0. 3rd and 16 from the IA-30. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right for Farrell. Left Powell in the backfield. Looking to throw, has time in the pocket, lost over the middle, wide open, caught Selby at the 47. Now works into Trojan territory and taken down at the Central Holmes 45. A 25-yard strike if you're Central Holmes. I don't know how you leave Leland Selby that wide open in the middle of the field.
He's not only our leading rusher, he's probably our leading receiver as well. He just kind of got in that seam, that crease up the middle, found the open sweet spot, and Farrell hit him in stride. Nice pass and run after the catch.
1st and 10 from the Trojan 45. Farrell under center. He'll turn handoff to his fullback. Ashton Powell gets through a couple of tackles, loses his towel, still losing Trojan defenders, and Powell has a nice run down the right side. Inside the 25 to the 22, I believe, is where they're going to mark it.
So he just he wouldn't go down there. He was turning those legs, using those shoulders, and then he was stiff-arming them away from him, and great run by Ashton Powell.
He's swatting them like flies. Gain to the 22, a 23-yard gain. Greenville Motorsports first down. Farrell will work from the gun with Powell and Selby stacked in an eye to his left. Farrell rolls left, looking to throw. Steps up, lost downfield, and caught on the run. Sliding catch. John Clayton Chisholm near the 11-yard line. That should be good enough for another Greenville Motorsports first down.
Boy, Chisholm did a good job of coming back to that football. He was a little bit underthrown, didn't have a whole lot of zip on it. Chisholm adjusted his route a little bit, came back, and I believe that's his 2nd reception of the year. Nice catch by the senior, John Clayton Chisholm.
At the 12, so a 10-yard gain. And we've got a timeout for a water break on the field. 6:23 to go, 2nd quarter. It's been all Colonels here at Legion Field. They lead Central Holmes 20-0. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back. You're listening to Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Are you looking for another choice for your prescription needs? Try any of your local Good Neighbor pharmacies and experience the difference your friends and neighbors are already enjoying. Your local Good Neighbor pharmacies serving the Delta with 5 convenient locations. City Drugstore, Hollandale, Cleveland Medical Arts, Cleveland, GMP Pharmacy, Belzona, Yazoo Drug Company, Yazoo City, Magic Mart Pharmacy, Indianola. Your Good Neighbor pharmacy where you get same copay and better service. Experience the Good Neighbor difference. Bring your prescriptions in today. Your local Good Neighbor pharmacies serving the Delta with 5 convenient locations.
David Smith Construction of Inverness is a proud Indianola Academy sponsor. At David Smith Construction, our reputation is building every day. And Coach Tommy Nestor and the Cardinals have built a winning tradition that we are proud of. Whether it be commercial or residential, let us take care of your building needs. We've been building for satisfied customers since 1982, and we would love to add you to that list. David Smith Construction is located on Highway 49 in Inverness. Call David Smith today at 265-6060.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Selden Van Cleve with you from Legion Field, where the Colonels lead Central Holmes 20-0 with 6:23 to go in the 2nd quarter. Colonels have it 1st and 10 from the Trojan 12, looking to add more.
Got some more Colonel fans checking in with us, watching on the live stream tonight. Peyton Barnes, former Colonel, number 53, and his mom, Lisa Terrell, stood there watching on the live stream. Go Big Blue.
Farrell looking to throw on 1st down, lost it near the corner of the end zone, looking for Coleman, and he can't hold on, incomplete. Ellis Harris had the coverage. Well, that's a pretty good ball thrown there by Farrell. Coleman just couldn't keep it and haul it in.
Well, Coleman, if he could have jumped maybe just a little bit higher, could have got it. That defender came in on him at the last second and hit the back of the defender's helmet, I believe. But a beautiful play. That's one of those 50-50 balls. Your receivers got to go up and just take that thing away and win that possession.
2nd and 10 from the Trojan 12. Ball on the far hash. Farrell works out of the gun, brings it back in motion near side. That's Selby. He'll take the handoff, gets a big block by Powell, and he's got his 2nd touchdown run of the night. Leland Selby makes it look easy. This touchdown run from 12 yards out. Again, the big block by Powell to spring it, and the Colonels on top 26-0 with 5:56 to play in the first half.
Yeah, and you saw Powell kind of make that block and then kind of lift his hands up because that defender was trying to turn on him like before, but Selby did a good job. Beat his man to the corner. After he scored a touchdown, I don't know if you saw it, but he threw a little fins up down there in the end zone.
Hopefully we get to see some fins up here in a few weeks. Laying on for the extra point, and the kick is up and good. 27-0. It's all Big Blue here from Legion Field. 5:56 to play before the half. We'll take 1 minute and be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Wade Incorporated is a proud sponsor of high school football. With more than 100 years of serving North Mississippi and surrounding areas, we believe in our communities and take pride in partnering with them to provide the very best. Visit wadeinc.com to learn more. Wade Incorporated, your North Mississippi John Deere dealer, delivering service, solutions, and success since 1909.
Proud supporters of Colonel Football, the Tackett family, owners of Heartland Catfish Company, farm 7,200 surface water acres of catfish and 15,000 acres of grain land. That makes us the largest single grower of farm-raised catfish in the U.S. Heartland is committed to supplying our customers with the highest quality farm-raised catfish products. Be sure and eat catfish raised in the Mississippi Delta by looking for the Heartland seal, smooth, clean fillet cuts that meet the highest standards, just like Indianola Academy and Colonel Football. Heartland Catfish, a proud sponsor of Colonel Football.
Welcome back. Colonels add to their lead. Leland Selby, his 2nd touchdown run of the night, puts the Colonels on top 27-0. 5:50 to go first half. Lang's kick taken by Wiley. Returns it up the Trojan sideline. Going to step out of bounds around the 35. We'll see where they mark it. Good to see the Colonels have this kind of night. You had the 1-point loss in week 1. You had the lead in the second half that finally couldn't hang on. Fought win last week, and by no means is this game over. But you like to see the Colonels have one of these kinds of nights where they seem to be in control.
Well, you clearly can tell the Colonels have a little more talent on the field. They definitely have more depth, as Central Holmes only has about 6 reserve players on the sidelines. You got a 27-0 lead here, 5:44 to go in the first half. So what you need the Colonels to do is to try to get this record even, 500, 2-2, as they face tough opponents coming up the next couple of weeks.
Jack Jenkins has checked into the game as the Trojans have it 1st and 10 at their own 33. And they run it straight ahead, work to the 35, stacked up. Ron Colley comes out of there with the football. They're going to stop forward progress, though, and say 2nd and 8 for the Trojans.
Yeah, they stood him up there, and several corners in there reaching and grabbing. And Ron Colley did come away, but they say forward momentum had stopped after about a 1.5, 2-yard gain.
Several blue shirts converging on the stop. Hayes Fleming in there. I think Jenkins was in there as well. 2nd and 8 from the Trojan 35. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Colonels on top 27-0. Steen works from the gun with a single back, one receiver to the near side. Handoff straight ahead. Mike Jones on the carry. And works the 37 before he's taken off his feet. Jenkins on the stop along with Policini. And Brewer Wright lost his helmet. He'll have to check out for a play. C.J. Brown will check in along with Parker Lovett.
Yeah, Brewer Wright came in high on him, and Policini kind of had him down low. Normally your helmet comes off, you got to come out of the ball game, but I don't guess the officials saw that, as Wright stays in ball game.
Marshall Reed in as well. 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the Trojans. Ball at the Central Holmes 37. Trip receivers near side for Steen. Rolls to his left, looking to throw. Dumps it over the middle. Caught and tattooed. Connor Roncalli comes up with the first Bills body shop collision nominee of the night as he takes the helmet off of Ellis Harris.
Well, you took
You
took the words right out of my mouth. He put that headgear right in his chest and then kind of came up and threw him, and that headgear popped off. Young man got up, bounced up real quick. He's not injured at all, but that was a nice lick by 22, the sophomore Connor Roncalli, for your Bills Body Shop nominee of the collision of the game.
Play results in a first down for the Trojans as Harris was able to work to the 44, but he's going to feel that one for a while.
Pass along another Colonel hello to Big Don Sykes, 1977, 78, 79, back in the Colonel Glory days. Big Don Sykes played for the Big Blue.
A lot of folks listening in tonight. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. On 1st and 10, Steen throws left side, caught by Dean, and works to midfield, taken down now. Parker Lovett, roll right. Combining on the stop. 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
It's just a nice pass and catch there by Central Holmes. Dean set up as a wide receiver near side. He ran a little slant pattern. Dean, the quarterback, hit him in stride. Brandon Brown had good coverage on him. He was right on his hip. And a 5 or 6 on the play. We're approaching the 3-minute, 20-second mark till halftime.
Colonel's on top, 27-0. 2nd and 4, Trojans from midfield. Steen will work out of the gun with Engel in the backfield. Hands off to Engel. He never got it cleanly. Ball on the ground. Roncalli came in with another big pop, tried to knock it loose again, but Engel able to hang on and lose 3 back to the 47. And Central Holmes will call a timeout. That'll stop the clock with 2:53 to play in the half. 3rd and about 7 coming up for the Trojans as, well, they nearly lost possession, lost a couple of yards there, but able to hang on to it. We'll take a 30-second break and be back. Colonel's on top, 27-0 before the half. We'll take 30 seconds and be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
The year was 1953. The average wage was $4,000 a year. Gas was 20 cents a gallon, and Dwight D. Eisenhower became president. And that same year, in the land of cotton, the Mississippi Delta, Abrahams was born. Michael and Helen Abraham carry on the proud tradition of offering the finest collection of men and women's clothing for Indianola and all of the Delta. Jeans from Big Star and Silver, mountain khaki shorts and pants, and Polo and Cotton Brothers for men. For the ladies, shoes by OTBT, Barefoot Dream sweaters, and Carly dresses and tunics. And don't forget Patagonia and True Grit in ladies and men. Proud Colonel Boosters, Abrahams, downtown Indianola.
Welcome back. 2:53 to play before the half. Colonel's on top of Central Holmes, 27-0. Watson Cook and Sheldon Van Cleve with you from Legion Field. They come out of the timeout. Trojans will have 3rd and 7. Ball is at the Central Holmes 47. Got to get to the Colonel 46 to pick up a first down. Been a good night so far for the Colonels. A lot of folks getting playing time, and that's how Tommy Nestor has, one of the ways I should say, Tommy Nestor has built this program over the years, is he gets these sophomores in playing time early in the year and their experience. Come late season, and by the time they're juniors and seniors, there's no rust to them. There's no nerves when they get on the field, and we're seeing that done again this year.
Well, they know the offense. They know the defense. They've been running it, from 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And then he always loves to bring the 9th graders up. We've seen them dressing out all year long. They get a feel for the game. They get a feel for what it's like to go on the road and eat team meals. Just got to be a part of it, and they'll get in tonight. They're going to get to play. You got 4 or 5 9th graders dressed out.
Coming out of the timeout, 3rd and 7. Steen swings it out left flat, caught by Wiley, and he's wrestled down. Ashton Powell the first to get there. Credit Wiley staying on his feet and fighting. They're going to stop his progress at the 48. Gain of only 1 will bring up 4th and 6.
That's the second time the Colonels have come in there and stripped that thing out. Everyone's going to lose sound of what they're tackling and hitting on the ground. I don't want to see them every time coming up and trying to rip that ball out and not making the tackle, but second time they've got it loose, but the play was run ruled dead. It'll be punting time here for Central Holmes.
Fondren will come on for his 3rd punt of the night. Kemp Judson going to go back to return for the Colonels. Fondren, a wobbly kick, Coach Shan Wright had it in his breadbasket on the sideline, couldn't haul it in. He'll hear about that one.
You got to catch that, Coach. I mean, right in your hands. Come on.
No return on the punt. Colonels will take over 1st and 10 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. I will have it at their own 35.
Got another text in. Somebody's watching. Chris McLean, Go Big Blue from Indianola Electric. Great electrical contractor here in Indianola. Chris, the uncle of several great Colonels. Chris Harris, Sebastian Harris, Nathan Harris, all played for Colonels.
What a big crowd listening and watching tonight. 1st and 10, Colonels from their own 35. Farrell hands off, straight ahead. Ron Conley makes a couple of men miss. He's got a first down and more. Slick move there to the 35-30. The foot race for Ron Conley. Can the Trojans catch him? He had to make a cut and finally taken down from behind at the Central Holmes 15. 50-yard run for Ron Conley of Greenville Motorsports, first down.
Well, it's just a great run. Ron Conley got it in the open field, juked and jived a couple of guys, and had some defenders get him downfield. That's how they caught him, is he was juking and jiving so much back earlier in his run. But he shook a couple of tackles along the way as well. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Watson, we've got a score that's been passed along to us. Greenville Christian School leads Greenville St. Joe 20-0.
Woo! St. Joe came in undefeated and riding high, I believe. Greenville Christian 1-1 or 1-2 on the year. Like the Saints got it going on over in Greenville. Farrell in trouble and dropped in the backfield. Sacked by Trey Humphrey. He came from the blind side of Farrell. He never saw him. Lost back to the 20. A 5-yard loss will bring up 2nd and 15.
Coach Wright, the offensive line coach, isn't going to be happy with that. Someone came through from that left side, between that left guard and tackle, or maybe from the outside, got the sack on Farrell. Farrell kind of had his back to him. It's his blind side, his left side. Can't afford to get Farrell hurt, for sure. Walker Zapponi was the backup quarterback. With him being out for 6 weeks or so, well, things would really be bad if we got Farrell hurt. But Farrell's fine. He pops up, gets the play from the sideline, comes back in. Loss on the play, though, brings up 2nd and 15.
Clock running with 44 seconds to play in the half. And the flag is down. We've got delay of game against the Colonels. It'll back them up another 5 yards.
Yeah, they just kind of lost sight of the clock there. After the sack, he came over. He gets all the way to the sideline to get the play from Coach Nestor. And goes back in. That time clock just ran down on him there. You got to watch that back, Judge. The clocks are not working tonight on the field, so you got to watch that back, Judge. When he puts that hand up in the air, that means you've got 5 seconds.
The 2nd and 20 now. Farrell will toss left side to Selby, and he's hit, dropped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play will bring up 3rd and 20. The play clock never started. It's still at 42 seconds.
Yeah, they haven't called a timeout now. It's running, so about 10 seconds didn't go off there that should have.
The 3rd and 20 coming up from the Trojan 25.
Colonel's not in any hurry here. I wouldn't mind seeing him give Wade Lang a chance at a lengthy field goal and see what he could do, build his confidence. This may be the last snap of the half.
Farrell will work out of the gun, single receiver to either side, looking to throw. Throws right side, caught by Jackson at the 20, and works to the 18 before he's taken off his feet, and that will bring the first half to a close. Colonels will go to the locker room up 27-0 over Central Holmes. A good first half, both sides of the ball for the IA Colonels, and they've got a big lead at the break. We will step aside, take 2 minutes. We'll come back, recap the first half, look ahead to the third quarter. We'll try to get some scores for you as well. Colonels on top 27-0 at the half over Central Holmes. We'll take 2 minutes and be back with Colonel football on Super Talk for the Delta.
There's something special about having that trusted friend by you each day. No matter what life brings, he's always there, ready to lend an ear, a smile, and even a helping paw. At Planters Bank, that's what we're here for. We believe in you, and we're cheering you on each and every step. And in the places we can help, we'll be giving you that extra push you need. Planters Bank, growing together. Member FDIC.
Need a little good news in your life? Well, here's the deal. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates in Mississippi, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Andy Daniels at an even better price. That's right, State Farm can help you save even more cash and get the good neighbor service you deserve. It's the real deal for car insurance. State Farm agent Andy Daniels is ready to help you save in Indianola. Call Andy today at 662-887-1578. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When it comes to your health, nobody beats the home team at South Sunflower County Hospital. When you have a minor emergency, waiting to be seen can be a rare pain. That's why you need Delta Primary After Hours Clinic. You'll love the convenience and personal attention that can only be found at South Sunflower County Hospital. You'll also have peace of mind knowing that you'll have immediate access to our full scope of hospital services. Visit your winning team at www.southsunflower.com. South Sunflower County Hospital, your hometown hospital.
Cannon Motors of Mississippi is your destination for all your automotive needs. Cannon Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Greenwood has a perfect vehicle for you. We invite you to test drive the new Ram 1500 or the Ram 2500 during Ram Power Days. Stop by our dealership in Greenwood and don't miss this great opportunity to ride in style. And remember, when the smoke clears, nobody beats a Cannon deal. Nobody.
Welcome back. Watson Cooks out in Van Cleve with you at the half, where it's been all Colonels here at Legion Field. They lead Central Holmes 27-0. A couple of touchdown runs in the first half for Leland Selby. Ashton Powell also on the board with a 15-yard touchdown run. And Connor Moore with his first rushing touchdown of the season. That's been the Colonels' 4 scorers. Wade Lang, 3 of 4 on extra points, had 1 blocked. And so that's where we stand here at the half, 27-0. But the Colonels have been able to run at will for the most part in the first half, and defensively they've been able to bottle up Snead, Dean, and Wiley in this Trojan offense.
Yeah, they've kind of had their way with them so far, Watson. They scored pretty easily on each possession they had. You know, the only possession where we weren't able to get anything done, of course, the last one, the clock ran out, and then we had a fumble. That's one bad check mark I want to put against us. We got to protect that football, scrambling that time. Farrell lost the handle on it. But nice show so far for the Colonel offense. And like I said, the Colonel defense has done a much better job being more aggressive. Those linebackers coming up and making those tackles and have some good coverage on your defensive backs as well.
So the Colonel's off to a good start in their district opener. A couple of teams looking pretty good so far within District 2 of 3A. Carroll Academy, who had their game canceled tonight, they were to go on the road out of conference, I believe, to Tri-County. That game not taking place. But Winona Christian, they're 3-0 as well. They're hosting Benton tonight. And then the Colonels, of course, hosting Central Holmes here. Colonels will have Winona Christian in town next week as they wrap up the 3-game homestand. And so far, just judging, the first 2 games of the year, Carroll and Winona Christian look to be the front runners in the district.
Well, they're going to be. I saw Sammy Henderson, our past headmaster. He's here tonight visiting. Good to see Coach Henderson back in town. He lives not far from Winona and Carroll, and I think he's seen Winona play in person. And I asked him, Coach, are they good? He said, yeah, they're pretty good. I said, what about Carroll? He goes, yeah, they're good too. So we'll find out next week how good they are. We've got Winona coming here next week, and then the following week we travel to Carroll Academy.
Yep.
So back-to-back, that's Indianola, Winona, and Carroll. That'll be one of those will be the winner of this district. Of course, Colonels played Winona twice last year. Went over there and lost to them in the regular season, and then beat them here in the playoffs. And then Carroll Academy came here last year, pretty much had their way with us.
Yep.
They kind of embarrassed us here at Legion Field. So I hope this Colonel team remembers that, and let's go over there and return the favor in 2 weeks to Carroll County.
So the Colonels, again, will wrap up the 3-game homestand next week here as Winona Christian comes to town. Then a 2-game road stretch at Carroll, at Benton. That'll wrap up district play for the Colonels. October the 9th, the Colonels will be back home against Lee Academy of Clarksdale. That'll be homecoming at Indianola Academy. October the 16th, Colonels hit the road again to Greenville Christian. What a road trip that stands to be. Looks like the Saints have things going pretty good over there in Greenville.
Yeah.
And wrap up the regular season here at home with Canton on October 23rd.
I'm anxious to find out really what's going on in that St. Joe and Christian game. We got that score report reported to us that Greenville Christian was up 20-0 over St. Joe, and St. Joe's got another good team, I've heard. But one thing that people may or may not know about Greenville Christian is with the closure of the football season for some of these schools around, Greenville Christian has picked up 23 players. I saw WXVT did a story the other night on it. I saw it on Facebook. They picked up 23 transfers in. And, some people may like that. Some people may not like it. It's not against the rules to do that. But they've picked up some talented football players, some from Greenville and some from even Greenwood are coming over to play. So that'll be interesting. We go face them later in the year. See how good they are.
Yeah, pretty good win streak, I think, for St. Joe on the line tonight. 29 games, maybe. I may not have that number exactly right, but the last score we got was Greenville Christian 20, St. Joe nothing. We'll try to update that as we move along here at the half and try to get you some other scores as well. 27-0, the IA Colonels on top of Central Holmes. Still got about 8 minutes left in the half. We'll step aside, take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back. You're listening to IA Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Born and raised in the Delta, we get it. We understand your connection to this land because ours is just as strong. It's not only been our home for 7 generations, but the home of those we care about. We value the natural resources of the Delta and the joy they bring to us. Our goal every day is to nurture and protect those as we continue to provide the best services possible to our customers. That's Gresham Petroleum Company, Indianola. Call 887-2160. That's Gresham Petroleum Company.
I'm Greg Beals from Beals Body Shop in Rubble, Mississippi, and I want to fix your car. We've been in business for 40 years in the same location. We're a family-owned business and currently have 3 generations still working under the same roof. If you're ever in an accident, we can tow your vehicle, help you with your insurance claim, get you in a rental car, repair your vehicle, and deliver it back to you in usually under a week. We're located at 501 South Oak Street, Highway 49, Louisville, Mississippi. Give us a call today, 662-756-2745. You won't be disappointed.
Need a little good news in your life? Well, here's the deal. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates in Mississippi, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Andy Daniels at an even better price. That's right, State Farm can help you save even more cash and get the good neighbor service you deserve. It's the real deal for car insurance. State Farm agent Andy Daniels is ready to help you save in Indianola. Call Andy today at 662-887-1578. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The year was 1953. The average wage was $4,000 a year. Gas was 20 cents a gallon, and Dwight D. Eisenhower became president. In that same year, in the land of cotton, the Mississippi Delta, Abrahams was born. Michael and Helen Abraham carry on the proud tradition of offering the finest collection of men and women's clothing for Indianola and all of the Delta. Jeans from Big Star and Silver, mountain khaki shorts and pants, and Polo and Cotton Brothers for men. For the ladies, shoes by OTBT, Barefoot Dream sweaters, and Carly dresses and tunics. And don't forget Patagonia and True Grit in ladies and men. Proud Colonel Boosters, Abrahams, downtown Indianola.
Welcome back here at the half. The IA Colonels on top of Central Holmes 27-0. It's been a good first half for the Colonels. They've scored on 4 of their 5 first half possessions. Ashton Powell got things started with a 15-yard touchdown run. That was at the 8:36 mark of the first quarter. Laying at it the extra point. Colonels on top 7-0. Then the Colonels were able to take advantage of a Trojan fumble. Took over first and 10 at the Trojan 39. 4 plays later, Leland Selby, a 16-yard run. Lang's extra point made it 14-0. That was at the 6:10 mark of the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, after the Colonels took over on downs at their own 17, they go 4 plays, 83 yards. Connor Moore, a 12-yard touchdown run. The extra point was blocked. That was with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. And then Selby added his second touchdown run of the night with 5:56 to go in the half. A 12-yard run around the right side. Lang's extra point made it 27-0, and that's where we stand here at the break. Some college football has started. Selden, you mentioned the Fins up earlier. Of course, the SEC is supposed to kick off September 26th. Everybody in this part of the country certainly hopes that that's able to take place. There's been some college games already started. Miami played last night, knocked off UAB. ACC starts this weekend. So some decent football games starting already, but everybody around here certainly looking forward to SEC football, and especially here in the state of Mississippi with a couple of new head coaches.
Yeah, they know Ole Miss. I'm more familiar with them. Obviously, being an Ole Miss fan, we were able to able to try to get tickets earlier this week. So I did put in for tickets for the Florida game. I'm just kind of anxious to see how it's going to be with 25% capacity in the stadium. It's going to kind of be eerie.
Yeah.
You've been to ball games before where it's a blowout and people leave early. You get late in the fourth quarter and there's hardly anybody there. That's kind of what I envision it to be like. But like you mentioned, there's some good games on tomorrow. Let's see if we can get some of these matchups. Syracuse and North Carolina play tomorrow. The ACC starts tomorrow, as well as the Big 12. Kansas State and Arkansas State, Duke and Notre Dame. That'll be on the NBC. Duke travels up to South Bend, Indiana. Georgia Tech and Florida State. Georgia Tech is coming off of about 10 years of option football. They got a new football coach last year. He kind of had to restructure everything. You recruit option football players. It's going to take the new coach 2 or 3 years to get his style of players in there. So it'll be interesting to see if Georgia Tech's improved and what Florida State and their new coach.
I was going to say new coach in Florida State as well.
Yeah, Mike Norvell, and he's had a lot of bumpy things going on down there. Louisville and Western Kentucky play. The line on that ball game I heard earlier was it's only 12 points. You would think Louisville would have a bigger point spread over Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Clemson gets their season kicked off tomorrow night as well. I think Wake Forest, ACC matchup there. Something else that a change with this college football season is going to the conference-only schedule for the SEC. And, here for the past, 10, 15 years, you're pretty confident that there's going to be an SEC team to run the table and be undefeated once you get to the college football playoff. Now, I don't know that that's the case because, you're only playing 10 games, but the SEC is pretty brutal week in and week out. It's going to be tough to see an Alabama, a Georgia, even an LSU, maybe an Auburn, run the table in conference play.
Yeah, and you got so much unknowns. LSU lost just about every single person off of that team from last year. They're still ranked in the top 10. I don't understand that, but they're going to be pretty depth. Coach Orgeron's got that thing turned around down there. Alabama's always good. Georgia now in the East, and Florida's supposed to be really good this year. And you hear Kentucky. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Kentucky and how good they're going to be. Tennessee's getting things turned around. Coach Jeremy Pruitt up there getting it turned around. So no breaks. You don't have any cupcakes on your schedule this year. You don't get that. You do get an open week. Everybody's got one open date, but you're playing a 10-game all-conference schedule. You get 5 at home and 5 on the road, and no cupcakes in between. So it's going to be the survival of the fittest.
Here in Indianola, we're still at the half, 27-0. Colonel's on top of Central Holmes. You'd like to get another score early in the third, maybe get a running clock. Got to get to 35 for that to happen, so we'll see if the Colonels can drum that up. Central Holmes, I beg your pardon, the Colonels will get the ball to start the second half. They won the opening toss, deferred their option. So we'll step aside, take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the start of the third quarter. Stay with us. You're listening to IA Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
20 seconds left with Let's Make Money. It's time for our first guest to pick a category of their choice. Alex.
I'll take reliable banking for $600.
Though it's local, this bank is known for having expansive online capabilities.
Community Bank?
Correct.
Reliable banking, $800.
The Small Business Administration ranked this bank #1 in Mississippi for SBA loans.
Community Bank?
Correct again.
Reliable banking, $1,000.
All right, Alex, this is for all the marbles. This bank is truly like no other bank you know.
Community Bank!
We have a winner!
Community Bank, always the right answer.
Hey, this is Chris McLean with Indianola Electric. We would like to thank our loyal customers for your continued support for the past 36 years. We are in our second generation operating under the same family for over 3.5 decades. As an electrical contractor, we are here for all of your electrical needs, from service and repair to customized automation and controls. We also have a complete motor shop for new or rebuilt electric motors and generators. Give us a call today at Indianola Electric for all of your electrical needs at 662-887-3292.
Some call it low smoke ahedas. Some can't even pronounce it, but everyone agrees that low smoke ahedas has delicious, authentic Mexican food that makes your mouth water. Satisfied customers from all over the Mississippi Delta dine with Juan and his staff every chance they get, and you will too. Low smoke ahedas also has a party room that you can reserve for birthday parties, anniversaries, and just a good time. You won't feel crowded, and the atmosphere is that perfect setting for authentic Mexican food. That's Low Smoke Ahedas Mexican Restaurant, Highway 82 in Indianola.
Hi folks, Randy Smith with Sunflower Lumber and Home Center here to tell you about our company. Since the 1940s, Sunflower Lumber has been in the same location with the same mission we have today. That's customer service and satisfaction to the fullest. Our dedicated, knowledgeable staff is here to work for you, whether adding on to the hunting camp, updating your kitchen or bath, spring cleaning around your property, or replacing your roof. We're your first stop for all your project needs. Stop by today at 204 Highway 82 in Indianola or give us a call at 662-887-1511 and see what shopping local can do for you. That's Sunflower Lumber and Home Center. And go Colonels.
Welcome to Robertson Ford. How can I help you? I'm looking for some floors for my house. I can help you. What kind of floor are you looking for? I am looking for Mannington hardwood floors for my bathroom, my laundry room, and my kitchen. Do you have your sizes, or do we need to measure? I have my sizes, but I still need you to come measure.
Whatever your flooring needs, Robertson Floor Service Indianola has got you covered. 662-887-4477.
We give free estimates and free Cokes.
Cannon Motors of Mississippi is your destination for all your automotive needs. Cannon, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Greenwood has a perfect vehicle for you. We invite you to test drive the new Ram 1500 or the Ram 2500 during Ram Power Days. Stop by our dealership in Greenwood and don't miss this great opportunity to ride in style. And remember, when the smoke clears, nobody beats a Cannon deal. Nobody.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Felden Van Cleve with you as still a couple of minutes away from the start of the third quarter. IA Colonels on top of Central Holmes 27-0 here from Legion Field. Colonels looking to even their record up on the year. They come into this one 1-2. Trojans looking for their first win of the year, and they've got some work to do in the second half. See if the Colonels can you keep the momentum up from the first half, add to this lead, and get out of here, keep everybody healthy, and move on to next week. But
they really
got to finish.
They really are outmatched tonight. The Colonels have the better football team. Expect Coach Nestor to try to get this thing stretched out to a 35-point lead here as quick as he can. Colonels get the football, and once you get to 35-point leads, you get a running clock. If both teams agree to it, you got to think that they would. You know, that with only 6 reserve players, they probably know they're overmatched. I'm sure they agree to the running clock if you get to that scenario. So Colonels have a 27-0 lead. Here we're about to start the second half.
Colonels will be working left to right as you look at your radio here in the third quarter. Nice breeze starting to blow. It feels a lot better than it did at 5:30 up here setting this stuff up. It was quite warm and humid, but it turns out to be a good night here in Indianola. We're about ready to get the second half underway.
Summer's really hanging on. You know, we've been in the low to mid-90s all week long. Looking at the long-range forecast, I think next Tuesday or Wednesday we're going to possibly dip down into the upper 80s during the day and get down, you know, in the mid to lower 60s at night. That'll surely be a welcome. Hope next Friday night that we've got just a little fall crisp in the air. Sure would be nice. It's tough on these players. Hadn't seen any cramps tonight. Hadn't really seen any Colonel cramps all year long. That's a testament to Coach Nestor and how he's gotten these players conditioned in the off-season and the 2 days leading up to the season.
Freshman John Ward will tee it up for the Trojans. Wears number 24. He'll kick right to left. Colonel send Ron Colley and Selby back to return. Ward approaches the tee. Second half underway. It's a short kick. Fair catch called for and taken in at the 30-yard line. Connor Moore hauls it in there, and that's where the Colonels will set up 1st and 10.
Now, Connor Moore did what the coaches probably taught him to do. It was a very short kick. He caught it at about the 30, and he just fair caught that thing. Had plenty of running room, but he did what he was taught. Fair caught that thing. We had some trouble earlier in the year when we had some short kicks like that. It's a nice job the special teams coach has done in getting prepared for those situations.
Colonels have it 1st and 10 to open the third at their own 30. Farrell will go under center, I formation in the backfield with a single receiver to either side. He'll turn, hand off to his tailback, Selby. He's off to the races again. 1st down and more in Trojan territory. Can he win the foot race with Riley? He's to the 20, to the 10. Wow, what a start to the second half. 3rd touchdown run of the night for Leland. Selby, 70 yards. There are no flags. The Colonels go up 33-0 with 11:43 to play in the third.
Great job. Great run there by Selby. I want to give credit where credit's due, though. Jeff Rainey and Grant Coleman with 2 excellent blocks. Rainey opened up the hole, and Coleman came through and sprung that thing for Selby. Those running backs get the glory, but the Hogs back in the line, you always want to give them credit when you know who made those blocks to spring those runs. So Carl's now 33-0. So Lang will come in for the extra point.
That's pretty easy to keep on the drive chart. One play, 70 yards. Third touchdown of the night for Selby, 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Lang is on for the extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good. 34-0, 11:43 to play in the third. Colonel's off to a quick start in the second half. One play, Leland Selby, 70 yards. Off to the races. We'll take 1 minute and be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
David Smith Construction of Inverness is a proud Indianola Academy sponsor. At David Smith Construction, our reputation is building every day. And Coach Tommy Nestor and the Colonels have built a winning tradition that we are proud of. Whether it be commercial or residential, let us take care of your building needs. We've been building for satisfied customers since 1982, and we would love to add you to that list. David Smith Construction is located on Highway 49 in Inverness. Call David Smith today at 265-6060.
An accident in your vehicle is always unpleasant, but getting it repaired doesn't have to be. Scott Lofton and the staff at Indianola Collision will help you through the process. From the insurance company to the actual repairs, we use the best parts and will make your truck and car look just like new. Our 24-hour record service, a rental car available if you need it, and a skilled, friendly staff make Indianola Collision the #1 destination for body work on your vehicle. We hope you don't need us soon, but we're here when you do. Indianola Collision, Highway 82 East in Indianola. Call us at 887-2000.
Welcome back. Colonels add to the lead. Leland Selby, a 70-yard run, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. Colonels on top 34-0 with 10:20 to play third quarter. Clock already running as Lang's kick taken at the 16-yard line. Sean Harrell on the return up the Trojan sideline, works to near the 35, and that's where he steps out of bounds. That's where the Trojans will take over 1st and 10.
Hey, Fleming will get credited for the tackle there, or they forced him out of bounds. Carly got to him. Ball goes out of bounds just shy of the 35. Another nice job of kicking by Wade Lang. The extra point. It's beautiful going through. Looks like he's got a little draw on that ball. Going through the uprights. The junior kicker really has improved his craft as the season's gone on. 4th game here.
You mentioned the teams agreeing to the running clock. We're not at 35 and the clock already running, so will be a short second half. Handoff coming near side, Artino Brown. And he's stopped for a loss all the way back at the 29-yard line. Several Colonels chasing down Brown. Braden Kimball leading the way.
Hey, Fleming as well, coming up from that rocket position. You know, we said he needed to have a good game. Watson, he's done it. I mean, he stepped up to the plate here. I know we're overmatched we're overmatching this team a little bit, but hey, this young man needs to build confidence. It's going to get tougher next week. You know, when you get out there on the field, you have confidence. You can do a whole lot better in that position the next week and the week after and the week after.
C.J. Brown back in along with a couple of freshmen for the first time tonight. Tyler Alford, Walker Perkins in for the Colonels. 2nd and 16. Steen looking to throw. Leaves it short of intended receiver Jace Dean. Will bring up 3rd and 16.
Marshall Reed had good pressure that time coming from his linebacker position. He was right in that quarterback space. It made him hurry it and get it off. The ball was underthrown just a little bit.
Jack Jenkins back in the game as well. 8:20 to go, third quarter. Clock running. Colonels on top, 34-0. Trojans come to the line. Steen works from the gun, has Wiley in the backfield. One receiver to either side. Handoff goes to Wiley. Looks for running room right side. Makes a cut. Taken down across the 35. Parker Lovett in on the stop.
Yeah, Parker Lovett, good job there, stretching out. Not a bad gain. Not a, 5-6 yard gain for Central Holmes. Still way behind the chains here. They're 4th and 9, and they're going to go for it. Nothing to lose here.
Camp Judson in on that tackle as well. 4th and 9 Trojans from their own 36. Clock continues to run. 7.5 minutes to play in the third. Colonels 34, Trojans yet to get on the board. Steen takes a snap, looking to throw, in trouble. Lane giving chase. Steen reverses field. He's turning circles in the backfield. Picks up a couple of blocks. Lost over the middle of the field. It's deflected and falls incomplete. Hamp Judson went high in the air to get his hand on it and knocked it away from intended receiver Jay Steen. And Steen, I think, is out of gas. He just ran a long way to get rid of that one.
Boy, a lot going on in that play is forced the quarterback out of the pocket. We almost had several sacks there. Wade Lang almost had a hand on him. I think Walker Anthony was in there close to getting him one time. And like you mentioned, Judson with a nice coverage there downfield, reached a busted play. The receivers had to adjust their routes.
The Colonels take over on downs. Going to have some fresh faces offensively as well. E.J. Hall will check in, a freshman wearing number 5. Walker Perkins in there along with C.J. Brown.
And we're going to have to learn some new names here because Coach Nestor's emptying the benches here. Colonel's up 34-0. Already with the running clock here in the third quarter.
It will be Farrell who stays in at quarterback. We mentioned Walker Zapponi, who went down last week, was the backup. So they're going to keep Farrell in there, and I would imagine just let him turn and hand off as Jack Jenkins takes the handoff inside the 30 to about the 27. So be close to a first down and bring up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, not a bad run by Jack Jenkins there. Coach Nestor's not going to get fancy here. He's going to just kind of try to grind this clock out to get up the middle of Jenkins. Official timeout on the field for water break.
Clock will continue to run during the timeout. 34-0. Colonels in command here at Legion Field, district opener. Colonels leading Central Holmes. We'll take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Are you looking for another choice for your prescription needs? Try any of your local Good Neighbor pharmacies and experience the difference your friends and neighbors are already enjoying. Your local Good Neighbor pharmacies serving the Delta with 5 convenient locations. City Drugstore, Hollandale, Cleveland Medical Arts, Cleveland, GMP Pharmacy, Belzona, Yazoo Drug Company, Yazoo City, Magic Mart Pharmacy, Indianola. Your Good Neighbor pharmacy where you get same copay and better service. Experience the Good Neighbor difference. Bring your prescriptions in today. Your local Good Neighbor pharmacies serving the Delta with 5 convenient locations.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Selden Van Cleve with you from Legion Field. Colonels leading Central Holmes 34-0. 4:40 to go in the third quarter. Clock continues to run during the water break timeout. Colonels have 2nd and 1 from the Trojan 27. A lot of fresh faces in on this offensive series. Jack Jenkins, Walker Perkins in the backfield. Farrell will take the snap, hand off to Perkins. He's got a Greenville Motorsports first down inside the 25 or the 24. 3-yard gain for Perkins, and the Colonels move the chains.
Yeah, ninth grader there, freshman getting some playing time. He gets the first down gain. They'll move the chains. Ball resting at the 25. For number 48, Walker Perkins.
Nephew of head coach Tommy Nestor. I formation in the backfield behind Farrell on 1st and 10. There's movement up front, but no flag as Jenkins takes the handoff straight ahead. Nice burst of speed. Works to the 17. 7-yard gain will bring up 2nd and 3.
Just to give straight away with an 8-yard gain by Jenkins. Jack Jenkins, the sophomore fullback. Thought he was going to break it there for a minute. You know, he started it off up the middle and tried to bounce it out a little bit to the left side. Linebacker comes in and gets a hand on him. Brings up 2nd short for the Colonels.
Clock runs, 3:12 to go third quarter. 2nd and 3 from the Trojan 17. Ball loose on the ground. Jenkins alertly picks it up and going to be dropped for a loss as Jay Steen busts through to bring him down. I don't think Farrell ever cleanly had the snap. Jenkins alertly able to pick it up. The loss back to the 20 will bring up 3rd and about 6.
And I'll attribute that to a new center in the game. Ford Owens, you're normally your center. New center in the ballgame that time. Just kind of a miscommunication on the snap. Didn't quite get it back deep enough. Farrell fell loose, but alertly the Colonels recover it.
3rd and 6 from the 20. Farrell takes a handoff, gives to Perkins, works to the 18. 2-yard gain will bring up 4th down. Colonels will keep the offense on the field and see if they can pick up the 1st down here. If not, no harm, no foul.
Colonel cheerleaders and dance team done a good job tonight performing. Of course, they perform at halftime and then timeouts during the game. You hear a lot of the same tunes you've been hearing throughout the years. It's kind of reminiscent to hear some of these songs that they're dancing to.
Handoff, Jack Jenkins on 4th down. A tough run up the middle, and he may have enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, good hard run by Jenkins again. I like what we're seeing out of this sophomore.
They're going to go over and put the ball down near the sticks, take another look at it. And they will say 1st down, Colonel. So Jenkins gets the Greenville Motorsports 1st down. We'll put it at the Trojan 14. 1:20 to go in the 3rd. Clock continues to run. Colonel's 34, Trojans nothing.
We'll continue to look for another Bill's Body Shop collision of the game. The only nominee we have so far is Connor Roncalli. Excellent lick he passed early on in the first half. Be hard to top the one he had.
Yeah, going to be hard to beat that one. 1st and 10 from the 14. Farrell tosses right side to Perkins. Can't get away from Trojan defenders. He's going to be stopped for a loss of 2 on the play, back to the 16.
Pass along a big Colonel hello to Will and Missy Pitts out listening tonight. Colonel Land, Will's out there with the combines. They're trying to get this harvest in. It's good weather for these farmers getting the harvest, the corn and soybeans. Cotton won't be far away, I'm sure.
2nd and 12 from the 16. Be the final play of the quarter. Farrell hands off to Jenkins. Runs into Jalen Webster and tried to fight for extra yardage. They're going to stop his forward progress. Trojans come away with the football, but they'll mark him at the 15. A gain of 1 will bring up 3rd and 11. And that will bring the 3rd quarter to a close. We'll go to the 4th with the Colonels on top 34-0. They'll have 3rd and 11 when we come back in a minute with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
Proud supporters of Colonel Football, the Tackett family, owners of Heartland Catfish Company, farm 7,200 surface water acres of catfish and 15,000 acres of grain land. That makes us the largest single grower of farm-raised catfish in the U.S. Heartland is committed to supplying our customers with the highest quality farm-raised catfish products. Be sure and eat catfish raised in the Mississippi Delta by looking for the Heartland seal, smooth, clean fillet cuts that meet the highest standards, just like Indianola Academy and Colonel Football. Heartland Catfish, a proud sponsor of Colonel Football.
Need a little good news in your life? Well, here's the deal. State Farm has new lower car insurance rates in Mississippi, so you can now get the service and convenience of State Farm agent Andy Daniels at an even better price. That's right, State Farm can help you save even more cash and get the good neighbor service you deserve. It's the real deal for car insurance. State Farm agent Andy Daniels is ready to help you save in Indianola. Call Andy today at 662-887-1578. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Watson Cook, Selden Van Cleve with you from Legion Field in Indianola, where the IA Colonels have a commanding 34-0 lead over Central Holmes. Colonels looking at 3rd and 11 from the Trojan 15. Clock already running. We're a minute and a half into the 4th quarter. Colonels haven't snapped it yet. Certainly won't complain about that.
No, it's really, clock is really moving on. I haven't really ever seen it run before when you have official timeouts, but
Jenkins on the handoff works to the 10. 5-yard gain will bring up 4th and 6.
4th and 6, Colonels will go for it here. Don't expect anything fancy. I'm sure there'll be a quick dive up the middle. Clock is at 10 minutes and running. Here left in the ball game.
Jenkins and Perkins in the backfield. It will go to Perkins. Farrell barely got the handoff away. as Perkins brought down shy of the first down marker. Turnover on downs will give it back to the Trojans. They'll take over at their own 6.
It was kind of a late handoff to get in there, and the defensive end for Central Holmes kind of kept on coming after Cole Farrell, our quarterback. So Charles can't convert it. Ball goes over on downs. Indianola with the 34-0 lead over Central Holmes.
We'll see if the Trojans can get anything going offensively here, as Colonels will bring in some subs defensively. Steen takes the snap, hands off to Wiley. Looks for running room near side. Lovett had a hand on him, couldn't bring him down. Tyler Alford comes in with a big lick around the 13, a gain of 7. We're bringing up 2nd and 3.
Not a bad run there. There's a lot of shiftiness in that running back, shaking a few tackles. Again, we've got to come up and wrap up these young guys. We got a lot of playing time coming tonight with these younger guys. Got to wrap up. Gain of 5 on the play. Hamp Judson gets credited for the tackle there.
Weston Farmer checks in, another freshman, wears number 61. Second and short, ball loose on the ground. The quarterback, Steen, never got the snap. I believe the Trojans able to recover.
It looked like they were in shotgun formation. Just was a low snap that he never really got, and they'll lose a couple on the play.
Mark it back to the 10. Beckham going to check in. 3rd and about 7. Steen takes the snap, hands off. Wiley looks for running room left side. He's got the first down and more. Turns on the Jets. Judson tries to force him out of bounds. Can't do it. And Wiley is going to take it 90 yards to the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. They get on the board for the first time tonight. Lawrence Wiley rips one off for 90.
Well, nice run. He did a good job of using his blockers. Fleming came up for the tackle. He just kind of cut inside of Fleming. Had a good cut on Fleming's aggressiveness. Did a good job running down that far sideline to get Central Holmes on the scoreboard. 34-6 is your score now, as they'll attempt the point after or go for 2. Kind of late getting down the field here. The officials and the players just kind of walking down the field.
Wiley outran everybody. They had a ways to go to catch up.
Yeah, they huddled up. Now they'll go for 2.
7:05 to go in the game. Central Holmes looking to put on 2 more here. Handoff goes to Engel, and he puts his head down. Tough run into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 34-8. Colonel still in control with 6:50 to play. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with Colonel Football on Super Talk for the Delta.
There's something special about having that trusted friend by you each day. No matter what life brings, he's always there, ready to lend an ear, a smile, and even a helping paw. At Planters Bank, that's what we're here for. We believe in you, and we're cheering you on each and every step. And in the places we can help, we'll be giving you that extra push you need. Planters Bank, growing together. Member FDIC.
Fall signifies a fresh start, and the team at Wade Incorporated can help you with equipment for any project you've been putting off. There's no time like the present to get those chores done around the house. No matter your fall plans, we've got you covered. Get out there and get the job done with Wade Incorporated. Wade Incorporated, your North Mississippi John Deere dealer, delivering service, solutions, and success since 1909.
Welcome back. Watson Cook, Selden Van Cleve with you from Legion Field as we inch near to the end of this one. 5:30 to play, 34-8. Colonels over Central Holmes. Clock continues to run. And we've got another score update. Was that 44-7? I think we've been told. Greenville Christian on top of St. Joe. Wow.
Yeah, that's really surprising. You know, I knew that Greenville Christian had picked up some talented players. That's across town, not even across town. You can see those schools from each other.
Yeah.
Greenville Christian and St. Joe, you know, you can see them. They're probably a half mile apart. And a lot of those kids know each other, grow up together. They're in the same town. But that's surprising to me here. That score, Greenville Christian up on St. Joe, 44-7.
The Trojans set to kick it away. John Ward will kick off. Perkins and Judson back to return for the Colonels. The short kick. Lane calls for a fair catch. He'll take it at the Colonel 32. That's where the Colonels will have it, 1st and 10.
Wade Lang alertly, he goes back and catches that ball. Fair catch. Don't want to take any chances of running it, fumbling it. Late this ball game, Colonels with the 33-8 lead. Nice play by Central Holmes on that 2-point conversion. So that running back ran hard, and he got in the end zone. Good job there, but Central Holmes not giving up.
1st and 10 Colonels from their own 32. Farrell under center, high formation in the backfield. Nobody home on the handoff, and Farrell is wrestled to the ground. Miscommunication in the Colonel backfield. Farrell dropped back at the 29, 3-yard loss.
Coach wants to see getting on that offensive line. He wants to see them come out with some fire. You know, they're getting an opportunity to come in here and play, and they don't want you out there just going through the motions.
2nd and 13 from the 29. Colonels 34, Trojans 8, 3:30 to go. High formation behind Farrell. Jenkins takes a handoff. Gets to the 31. 2-yard gain will bring up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, just nothing fancy there. Colonel just trying to run this clock out. They give up the middle. He tried to bounce it out to the left side. Again, Central Holmes had some good pressure. Had a man in the backfield coming from that left side.
The Colonels next week will have Winona Christian coming to town. Have not seen a score tonight on Winona, but you assume they will come in 4-0, taking on Benton tonight. Colonels will move to 2-2. Farrell turns, hands off to Jenkins, who is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Will bring up 4th and 11.
Watch that, just confirmed on Facebook that score was a halftime score, 44-7. St. Joe losing to Greenville Christian School.
Wow. The Colonels will punt for the first time tonight. Leland Selby will punt. Walker's opponent, of course, injured last week, out for 6 weeks, was the Colonel's punter.
This is a good idea to go ahead and punt this. He needs to get some practice here, the game situation. He fumbles the snap and gets off a terrible kick.
Gets that one away, and it might make it back to the line of scrimmage. Not what Selby was looking for there, but, hey, like you said, you get that one out of the way for next week, then Trojans take over 1st and 10.
Wasn't a bad snap. May have been a little bit low, but with his baseball ability, he went down and maybe took his eye off of it a little bit. And fumbled the ball a little bit on the ground, then had to hustle to get it off. Had some pressure coming in on him, and just shanked it off the right side of his foot. So Central Holmes has excellent field position with a 1:32 to go in the ball game at the Colonel 30-yard line.
Colonel on top, 34-8. Handoff goes to Engel straight ahead. Gets to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. A flag comes down from the back judge. Official on the near side shaking his head like, come on, we can let pretty much anything go at this point, as long as it's clean.
I kind of agree with him. Unless he said something bad about his mama or kicked him in the nether regions, you got to let that go.
They will call a penalty against the Colonels and step this one down to the 15-yard line. Clock continues to run. It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even see what the call was, Selden, but it does go against the Colonels.
He did that. I thought that was, what is that? He tapped the top of his head with both hands. I was thinking maybe it's unsportsmanlike conduct or something.
Came in from the back judge. 1st and 10 from the 15. Handoff goes to Mike Jones, who works inside the 5 before he's taken off his feet. I don't think the Trojans will have time to snap it again. Clock is down to 15 seconds.
They're going to try to hustle to the line here and get another snap off. They'll get it off, I believe.
Clock is down to 6. Sneed will take the snap from the gun. Hands off. Ball loose on the ground, and that'll do it. So the Trojans have to rush there to get a playoff. They lose the football, and the Colonel